Stanley, I just read this news from CFIB about the carbon tax rebate for small businesses being taxed. As a medical clinic owner, I received that rebate in December last year, and now I'm being told it's taxable. What's going on? I thought the government said it was tax-free.
Ah, yes, Sarah. This is a classic case of policy confusion. Let me break it down for you. The government initially promised that the Canada carbon rebate for small businesses would be tax-free. Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland even publicly announced it in November 2024, saying, "This rebate will be tax-free." But here's the catch. The Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, operates based on existing tax laws, and unless there's specific legislation to override those laws, they have to treat the rebate as taxable income.
So the government made a promise but didn't back it up with legislation? That's ridiculous. I already paid carbon taxes, and now they're taxing the rebate they gave me to offset those costs. How does that make sense?
Exactly. The rebate is considered government assistance, which under Section 12(11)(x) of the Income Tax Act is taxable unless explicitly exempted. Since no legislative changes were made to exempt this rebate, the CRA has no choice but to tax it. It's a frustrating situation, especially for small businesses like yours, that were counting on this rebate to help with cash flow.
It's not just frustrating. It's infuriating. I run a medical clinic, and we're already dealing with rising costs, staffing shortages, and now this. The rebate was supposed to help, but now it feels like a slap in the face. Why is the government making it so hard for small businesses to survive?
I hear you, Sarah. This situation highlights a bigger issue with how Canada's tax system treats small businesses. The carbon tax itself is controversial, and the way the rebates are being handled adds to the frustration. For example, families get their carbon tax rebates tax-free, but small businesses don't. It's inconsistent and unfair.
That's what gets me. Families get their rebates tax-free, but small businesses, the backbone of the economy, get taxed on theirs. It's like the government is punishing us for trying to stay afloat. And now I have to figure out how to account for this in my taxes. What a mess.
Unfortunately, you're not alone. Many small business owners are in the same boat. The CFIB has been vocal about this, calling for Parliament to reconvene and pass legislation to make the rebate tax-free. They're also urging the government to drop the planned 19% increase in the carbon tax set for April 1st. But until that happens, the CRA's decision stands.
What's even more frustrating is that this rebate was based on employee headcount, which doesn't even reflect how much carbon tax we actually paid. It's such a flawed system. And now, on top of all this, I have to worry about potential U.S. tariffs and other economic uncertainties. It feels like the government is piling on the pressure instead of helping us.
You're absolutely right. The employee headcount metric is a poor way to calculate rebates, especially for businesses like yours that may not have a direct correlation between employees and carbon emissions. And you're not wrong about the broader economic challenges. The combination of carbon taxes, potential tariffs, and rising operational costs is creating a perfect storm for small businesses.
So, what can I do? Is there any way to fight this?
Right now, your best bet is to stay informed and support advocacy groups like the CFIB, which are pushing for change. You can also reach out to your MP and voice your concerns. The more small businesses speak up, the harder it will be for the government to ignore the issue. In the meantime, make sure you're accounting for the rebate as taxable income in your 2024 tax return to avoid any issues with the CRA.
Thanks, Stanley. I'll definitely do that. It's just so disheartening to see how little support small businesses get. We're the ones creating jobs and serving our communities, but it feels like we're constantly being squeezed.
I completely agree, Sarah. The government needs to recognize the vital role small businesses play in the economy and start implementing policies that actually support growth and sustainability. Until then, all we can do is stay informed, plan carefully, and keep pushing for change.
Well, thanks for explaining everything, Stanley. I guess I'll start preparing for the tax hit and hope the government finally gets its act together.
Anytime, Sarah. And remember, you're not alone in this. Small businesses across the country are feeling the same pain. Let's hope for some positive changes soon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell.